Good morning. We would be discussing functions in Python. Whatever we have learned till now, it would be the continuation of what is the use of using functions. Suppose you are writing a particular code, you have to call it again and again, or we are using it again and again. So redundancy has become a big problem. So just to help our code to be used in a particular fashion, or our code to be written in a well structured manner, we are using functions. A function, then how would we would be defining our function? A function is a block of organized reusable code that is used to perform a single related action. In simple words, what we can say, a function is a piece of code that is used to perform related task. Now, what would be the example of related task? It can be like addition of the numbers. It can be subtraction of the numbers. First time we did our addition with 2 and 5. Next time we are doing it for 10 and 20. Again, next time we are doing it for 30 and 40. So we can use the same code again and again. So here comes the need of function. Now let us see what is the syntax of the function, how when we are really going to write a particular program, how it would seem like. Okay, it comes, our programming starts with a keyword called def. Def. It stands for definition, and after that we would be giving the function name, just like we used to give our variable name. So we would be giving our function name and the parameters. By parameters, we mean that what we try to pass into the function. Suppose we are trying to add two numbers, say 2 and 5. So this 2 and 5 become the parameters for this particular function. And after the parameter function, there would be a set of statements, and then finally a return expression. Now, what are the advantages of this particular function? The functions are very helpful when we are going to write a particular program using functions. The redundancy of the part redundancy is highly reduced. Now, what do you mean by redundancy? Redundancy generally means the particular code which is appearing again and again, that number of times it has been reduced. Suppose a particular statement is appearing say 10 number of times, but by using this Python, this functions, that particular code can be written in just 2 or 3 sentences. Next, that particular function can be called number of times. You can call a particular function as many times as you want in the program. Okay? And when you divide a particular program into a set of functions, the program becomes very much structured, and the readability of the program is increased. By using these functions, the program becomes modular in structure, and therefore readability of the program is increased. And since we are you and this particular code, this function can be used for one program to another program. So when we are going to check for a particular error, the error would be highly minimized. So we can say that debugging is very much easier. And what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages, we can see that the the calling that particular function over and over again, it some number of overhead, but that that doesn't matter. Now we will see the structure of a functions particular function, that how it is being written in the programming language. First thing here, you can see into the figure that it is the function diagram. Here it starts with the definition or the def keyword, then it would be the function name, whatever name we can we try to give of that particular function. And one thing I would like to tell you, whatever function name you are trying to give, just try to make it something that is understandable. If someone else is reading your program, he should well understood that what your particular function is going to do. Next is formal parameters. Formal parameters are the parameters that are being passed into the program, followed by a colon, and there would be a set of statements, and finally a return statement would be there. It is optional. We can also do away with the return statement. The indentation should be definitely there. The parameters, as we have seen that in the above, the parameters here, the parameters that are being used by the function, it is also optional. And the function name, as I have already told you, the function name should be in a such a way that the one, it should be understandable, and if someone else is reading your program, it should be well understood. Function body is again the set of statements that set of statements and finally the function would be over with a return statement, rather it is optional, and finally we will call again that function, and no programming is completed without we doing the programming part. So let's switch on to programming and see how these functions really work. You can So here we can see, for the easiness of the program, I have already typed the program, and I will just run the program and let you know. Here you can see that def is the keyword and welcome is the function name, and here you can see that we have not passed any arguments, and we have a colon, and it is following some kind of indentation. We have written a print statement, welcome to Python programming, and then finally when we are coming out, we have just written, we are calling that particular function. Let's see how does it look like when it runs. Okay, here you can see it is finally written that welcome to Python programming. Okay, and here this function, in this particular function, the function is with no arguments. Okay, just remember, here we are not passing anything, so you can say that the function, it is a function in which we are not providing any arguments. Let's move on to another example. Here you can see it is a function with fixed number of arguments. Here you can see the function is doing multiplication. We have two fixed number of arguments, num1 and num2, and it is returning just num1 into num2. what it will do, here we can see when we are coming out of the function, result is equal to multiplication 12 and we are passing 12 and 89 the result, and we are just printing the result. Next time we are multiplying 198 into 389 and the result is just printed again. Okay, let's check out the result. Here you can see that 12 into 89 gives you 1068. This one would return you 77022, and the final this one will return you 5488. Okay, I by this time hopefully this particular function is clear with you. Let's move on to the another example. Here also we are using function. This is a function with fixed number of arguments, and we are passing some default value, like as we all know, that is the keyword. Multiplication is the name of the function. We are passing num1 and num2, and num2 is we are fixing a default value to 24 and returning num1 and num2. What is the result when we are multiplication? Let's see. Here you can see the first result is like multiplication 12. Since there are two arguments, that the value 24 would be taken automatically, so the result would be 12 into 24, so it is 288. So you can see it very clearly. Next one is 198 and 389. If we are passing any argument like 389, then the default would not be taken. It would be just multiplying 198 into 389, and that gives you 77022, and again we are multiplication 98. We are not passing anything, that means it would be taking the default value 24, so 98 into 24 gives you 2352. Hopefully it is clear. I would be giving you assignment based on this one. We will meet in the next session.